Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Seiko 5 Sports Field Watch. Also, some websites call this a military watch, but I've always thought of this as a field watch, mainly due to the dual time scale. Here we have 1 through 12 on the perimeter, and then just inside of this 13 to 24 for, well, military time. So as you can see here, you may have noticed the crystal, also the date. This does have a Kanji date wheel, and I have left it on the Kanji date just because I think it looks cool. And maybe I'll learn what each of these characters, what day they represent, I should say. So this does actually have a blue dial. It looks like a black dial, but it is a blue dial. Let me shine a flashlight on it real quick, and it'll try to simulate the sunlight. So there you go. It's a real cool blue dial. It's kind of a darker blue. Almost looks like a grayish blue dial in some lights. But you can see the sunburst effect there as well behind my fingerprints on the dial, on the crystal, sorry. So I actually bought this watch a few months ago, even more than a few months ago, directly from Japan. So in the title, I will put down this model number, the SBSA113. I've not been able to find, at least I don't think I have found the exact US model number equivalent for this. I see that there is the SRPG29, 29, 31, 33, 35, 37, 39. But 27 looks to be a black dial, but looks very similar to this. So I'll probably put that in the title as well, video title. You can see the indices are a brushed stainless steel finish. Looks gray in some lights, and then looks silver in other. Right here, it looks almost kind of like a white, but these are what I would assume to be applied indices, or I don't think they're stamped from behind on this dial. I'm assuming they're applied, but looks very neat. I really like how this watch looks. I like the Seiko logo that's applied. I like that Seiko 5 symbol, which is right below the Seiko, and then automatic. I guess some of the Seiko 5 is 5 things. It's I think water resistance, durability. I forgot all the 5 things for Seiko 5, but one of them supposedly is the crown at the 4 o'clock, or maybe not. I don't know, that's up to debate. Anyway, you can see this is a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. Again, my fingerprints, I had just cleaned this watch off, and then I touched it, so it's fingerprints on it again. So here we go. See, it's brushed on top, polished on the side. Unsigned crown. It is polished. It's a little thin in this dimension, but it's a fairly good sized crown. I have no problems using this crown. You can see it does have drilled lugs, and the bezel is also polished. I'm sorry, also brushed. Here you can see the dome on the crystal. There is some distortion there as well, and this is a Hardlex crystal, unfortunately, but expected. Seiko really likes to use Hardlex, which is their proprietary mineral glass. It's supposed to be harder than mineral glass, but I don't know by how much. It almost seems like there's an anti-reflective coating. There's something going on here, but I couldn't find any information on that. Let me zoom back out here a bit. So it is rated to 100 meter water resistance. It does have just a push-pull crown. It does have the in-house 4R36 movement. So the first position out, actually let me move the handset. We'll pull it all the way out. You can see the second hand stops, so that's hacking. I'll move the handset out of the way here. There we go, that'll be good. Push it all the way back in, and you can hand wind it from this position. I really don't mind the lack of a screw down crown. You still have the 100-meter water resistance. It's more convenient to not have to unscrew it to manipulate the time or the date. So here I will change the date, actually the day, I guess. So you can see it's Kanji in English. So that looks like a house. Maybe I should learn the actual names for these symbols or characters. But I know that's Sunday because it's red. So anyway. Oh, since we're here, you can see it says made in Japan down by 6 o'clock there. Zoom in a bit more. 4R36-1052. And you can see the dial color a little better here. You can also see the loom on the indices just to the outside of the Arabics. So let's take a quick look at the case back. Does have a display case back. Movement's not decorated, but I still like to see mechanical movements. I think it's pretty cool. And then there's information around the perimeter of that case back there. Made in Japan. Seiko, water resistant 10 bar, which is 100 meter, stainless steel. And perhaps it's a serial number, I really don't know. And then there's more information about the movement again, 4R36-10A0. So 4R36 movement has 41 hours of power reserve, 24 joules. It has Diaflex mainspring, and then it has the Diashock protection, which is supposed to help protect the movement from shocks. And that second hand is beating at 6 beats per second. The typical Swiss automatic movements are 8 beats per second. So not quite as smooth of a second hand sweep there, but still pretty smooth. All right, let's look at the bracelet and then we'll go over the specs. The bracelet is, I mean, it's okay. It has hollow end links. I prefer to have solid end links. And, well, a good thing is it does not have the pin and collar system. It has just the normal split pins, which are fine for me, much easier to size. So I'm trying to show you on some of these links, there is what appears to be like a casting line or a split line. It almost seems like these are hollow links, but they're actually solid links. Man, this camera is annoying me. There we go. You can see right there. You can see this kind of a line here on the link. So, and then that one there too, you can see even more prominently. I'm assuming these are cast links, and then they just didn't polish out that casting line or that split line. Maybe, I don't think they're folded over solid links. These are solid links. Actually, I gotta find, I did size this bracelet. I don't know what I did with the links. Here we go. Right in the box. So that was a good job. Oh, actually here I have the hang tag too. Come on. There we go. So SBSA113, which I had showed you previously. There's the price in yen. I think I paid about $260 for this watch from, it's either Seiya Japan or Sakura Japan. I'll try and leave a link in the description to the website where I purchased this from. I saw on Long Island Watch, the US version of this watch is $275, I think. I'm assuming the only difference is one has the English and Spanish date wheel, and this one has the English and Kanji date wheel. So anyway, I wanted to show you the links. These are solid links, but that line in the center link kind of confuses me. I'm not sure what that's about. Now there's a view at the split, a view of the split pin. Yeah, I'm assuming these are cast, and then they brush and polish these after the casting process. So anyway, let's get this stuff back off to the side here. Actually, it just comes in the typical Seiko 5 box. Nothing special. Cardboard does the trick. So let's go over the dimensions before I forget. Lug to lug, we're looking at 47.7. Case diameter, we're looking at 39.4 millimeter. Lug width, 20, and that does taper down to 18. I prefer if it tapered down to 16, but a little bit of taper is better than none. Stamped clasp, as you can see here. And the way the links the way the links attached to this clasp is kind of weird. It just has this piece of stamping here, and then it has a little stamped link here. Sorry about that. I need to upgrade this camera one of these days, but this here is the stamping. And then it only does have the 2 micro adjust. And again, this is a stamped piece of metal here too. That is the link that attaches to the clasp. It's kind of a weird design. I don't know why that's not a solid link there. So I'm sure it's all about cost savings. Watch thickness, 13.5 thick, which is quite a bit thick considering it's only 100 meter water resistant. I would say that's a lot of it's due to this kind of a domed crystal here. And then the crown size is 6.4. Maybe a little small, but it doesn't look all that small on this watch here. For example, the SKX, my SKX009, that's a 7 millimeter crown. But the watch is thicker with this. It looks like a thicker watch, but actually the thickness is the same when you consider the crystal. So let's try and show that here side by side. Yeah. And then here we are side by side. Again, 39.4 versus 42 on the SKX, but the diameter is probably going to look pretty much the same. This one actually might look a little bigger because the dial is much larger than the dial on this one. So 200 meter dive watch versus 100 meter field watch. All right, let me get this on wrist, and then we'll close out the video with the loom. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this watch. I would like it better if it had sapphire, but Seiko really doesn't do that unless you're quite a bit higher up in the price range, probably about $1,000 or so. But actually they put them on their solar watches, so I don't know. No idea what Seiko's plan is here. I do like the little bit of polish case in between the lugs here. So I have a 6.5 inch wrist with a 52 millimeter wristband. And again, lug to lug on this is 47.7. We'll zoom out here. Every once in a while you can catch the blue on that. Let me shine a flashlight on it again. Looks real good out in the sunlight. Yeah, I really like that blue. As you can see, also the date wheel is black. It's white on black. It's not blue, but from this lighting here, you really can't tell. It's not the same color as the dial. Overall, I'm really happy with this watch. I think I'm going to try it on some different straps here. It does have the drilled lugs, so it should be easy enough to switch it out. I would, with this dial, I think it would look good with a brown strap. I have a 20 millimeter. I have a couple different color brown straps, so I think I'll try that on an upcoming video here. And here's the SKX again for size reference. All right, let me pause the video and I'll be right back. So it is a Seiko. Obviously the watch on the left, well, they both are, but we're talking about the Seiko 5 field watch on the left here. And so it does have LumiBrite applied to the hand and indices. It's not really a fair comparison, a field watch against a dive watch, but if it had the same size indices on the field watch, the lume would be just as bright as the dive watch on the right. But you know, really I can't complain too much about the lume on the Seiko 5 field watch. It's not a big priority for me on a field watch like it is on a dive watch. So anyway, that will conclude today's video. As always, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.